So this is Acre Gold. This is a gold subscription service. Now, you people probably saw these ads popping up anywhere from like 2 to 3 years ago. And it is a interesting product and bad in a lot of ways. Now, I do need to give credit to somebody over on Instagram for sending me this way, a kind follower of the channel, who kind of pointed some of the shady aspects of this out. So, if you're not familiar with Acre Gold, essentially you pay what a seemingly low amount of money to buy a allotment of gold. So let's say if you want 2.5 grams of this, you're going to be paying $50 per month until you reach that threshold of whatever that 2.5 grams is. Now, when you reach that threshold of 2.5 grams, we will actually mail it to your door so that you actually have it. Now, there is a subscription startup fee of, I think, 12 bucks. And then there's also some shipping fees involved as well. Now, if you do the price breakdown of it, it is considerably more expensive than just buying gold. So, unfortunately, this is also targeted at people with less disposable income. Obviously, because like me, like I can't go out tomorrow and buy 2 ounces of gold or 3 or 4 or 5 ounces of gold, whatever it wants to be, if I want to invest in precious metals. Now, this isn't investment advice. This is just basic observations, right? So, this is definitely targeted towards people with less disposable income, but are still maybe worried about the volatility of cash so that they want to invest in a precious metal such as gold. However, the value just isn't there. Now, another element about investing in gold over a long period of time is gold is usually thought of as a metal that goes up in value, even though there was like a decade of a half, decade and a half where it went down consistently. But usually, generally, right now, it's thought of as a safe investment that's going to increase in value. Now, why is that kind of a bad thing? Well, if you're paying a fixed amount per month, let's say $30 or $50, before you reach that threshold and you actually physically have that piece of gold, well, the end goal legitimately keeps moving as it becomes more valuable. So let's say if you're going for, let's say, an ounce or something, the ounce is $2,000. By the time you put in your 50 weeks at $40 a week, well, sorry, now it's 2,500 bucks. So now you got another 12 to 13 weeks before you've actually met that threshold. So all of that money that you've put in, it's like pouring water into a glass, but the glass continues to get bigger. So you will eventually fill up that glass and actually get, your gold at the end of the day, or, in years from now, depending on how much you're buying and how big the increments are. However, it seems like a not predatory, but it definitely seems targeted at people with less disposable income, and the value really isn't there. I'm not sure if the breakdown survived. I did have a breakdown pulled up. Here it is. So again, this is just going on Reddit. They go over some of the additional fees and some of the other problems with it. There is actually a math breakdown as well about how much more expensive it is versus like just actually saving up your personal money and then investing in a lump sum. So for instance, if you just put your 30, 40, $50 a week paycheck, whatever it happens to be, away personally, you could do the exact same thing while holding on to your cash, right? So as opposed to giving a company like $1,000 before they even send you something or whatever the amount actually is, you could have that physical cash and then just go ahead and purchase it when you actually want it. So moving on to a little bit further on down the rabbit hole, let's go ahead and go to here. Now, this is just gold and silver expert, which just has a Acre Gold review. However, we don't particularly care about this nonsense. They're just reviewing it in a very corporate way. However, if we go all the way down, you guys can see this, can't you? Who owns Acre Gold? One Gold, which is a joint venture between APMEX and Sprott. They are the ones who own Acre Gold. So, One Gold, we can go here, founded by industry leaders APMEX and Sprott, founded in the 90s and in 1981 by Scott Thomas and Eric Sprott. And again, about $35 billion between these two guys. Now, if we go to the APMX side, we can see Scott Thomas here. He's the founder of APMEX LLC, served as president since its inception. They're basically a gold, silver, and other precious metal company. Now, one more thing here. Let's go ahead and share this tab so you guys can see this. Earned acceptance for APMEX as an authorized distributor for many major governments that mint and distribute gold and precious metal coins, including as an authorized purchaser with the United States Mint. So that's how far up the chain this stuff goes. From such a little company like Acre Gold, those funds fly back up the chain to APMX. And on the other side, we have, of course, Sprott. Now, Sprott is a very interesting person. He recently invested an extra $125 million into a Canadian gold mining company because he believes that there's going to be another huge gold find in Canada, probably the greatest gold discovery in the history of Canada. So this is Mr. Sprott here, which owns the other half of Gold One, which is the company that actually owns Acre Gold. Now you can see that this guy, very interesting person, Mr. Sprott. Sprott advised investors to buy gold before the 2008 financial crash. Following the crisis, gold rallied to an all-time high of over $2,000 per ounce. So this Mr. Sprott character is a very, very intelligent person. The fact that he moved into gold just before the 2008 financial crisis and profited heavily off of it. Also, interestingly enough, he donated $10 million to this university, which then renamed their business school the Sprott School of Business. Just kind of very, very interesting turn of events if you go all the way back up the chain from Acre Gold and who actually owns it, operates it, and all of the shenanigans that they get up to. All right. All right. So where do we think that Acre Gold should go? They are in here somewhere, aren't they?
Kind of. I think they should be our first kind of scummy. They definitely do send you something. You don't have to pay for the. You don't have to pay for custodial fees, which is a problem with gold IRAs, by the way. If you decide to transfer your IRA into precious metals, it has to be stored at somewhere the IRS deems as safe, and then you have to pay for the general maintenance of the actual gold material that's in that location.
And is it there? There it is. Okay, so Acre, kind of scummy. There we go. Okay, so that is in the kind of scummy category. It's not a scam. It's not a bad product, but it is just a little bit scummy. Just a little bit.